Alright. Okay, I have prepared for this one. So I am a little bit of background on me. I am Cherokee on my father's side and Choctaw on my mother's side. I was enrolled previously with Cherokee, but I decided to enroll with Choctaw instead. So I went from one to the other, but I am both. So I want to go ahead. I'm going to tell you about Choctaw first. I'll be reading from the Encyclopedia of Native American Tribes. It's a little bit of it, a little bit of content for you guys. Let me know what you think about it. I'm going to be reading about my tribes first. So first the video will be Choctaw. The second video will be Cherokee. And then moving forward, I'll just decide randomly which ones to post about. So if you like this content, make sure you comment. And if you're native and want to learn more about your tribe, comment your tribe and I'll do that one next. And if you just want to know about a tribe and you're not native, just comment about the name of the tribe and I'll do that one next. Otherwise, I'll just go however I see fit. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Encyclopedia of Native American Tribes. Oh, 1 second. I read through a little bit a few times. Like, excuse me. Oh, y'all. Excuse me. Almost there. Okay. So, this one says Choctaw. According to the tribal legend, the Choctaw originated from Nani Waya, the Mother Mound, at a location near what is present-day Knox Pater, Mississippi. I looked at it. It's called currently Pearl River, Mississippi. More current. This creation myth indicates that the Choctaw were descended from the earlier mound builders of the Southeast. At the time of early European contacts with them, the Choctaw were one of the largest tribes of the region, occupying territory in what is now southern and central Mississippi, with some bands in Alabama, Georgia, and Louisiana as well. I'm in Oklahoma. The Choctaw, a Muskogean speaking people, are closely related in language and culture to other possible descendants of the mound builders, the Chickasaw, living to their north, and the Creek, living to their northeast. Yet the Choctaw had a more democratic system of government than the other Southeast Indians. In this regard, they were more like the Northeast Indians, who did not have autocratic rulers. The Choctaw, like most Southeast peoples, were primary villagers. They used a variety of materials to build their dwellings: wood for the pole frames, grass or cane reeds for thatched roofs, clay and crushed shells. There you go. Yeah, you should get all in. Okay. Clay and crushed shells for walls, or in some cases, bark, hide, or woven mats. Tribal members had both winter and summer houses. To keep the winter houses warm, families built fires, and to keep them moist, they poured water over the heated rocks. For other tribal members have become known for their silverware. Wait. For additional warmth, they twisted turkey feathers into thread to weave blankets. The Choctaw were highly skilled farmers, having large fields in the fertile bottomlands of the lower Mississippi River. Their main crops were corn, beans, squash, sunflowers, and melons. For the Choctaw, hunting, fishing, and the gathering of edible wild plants were secondary in importance to their frequent plantings and harvestings. The Choctaw carved dugout canoes for hunting, fishing, and trading trips. Choctaw traders developed a simple trade language that they could use in combination with sign language to communicate with other tribes. It has been referred to as Mobilian trade language or Chickasaw trade language because the Mobile and Chickasaw made regular use of it. Choctaw men let their hair grow long, unlike the males of most other Southeast tribes who shaved their heads. The Chickasaw called them Panch Balia, meaning long hairs. The Choctaw and Chickasaw both practice head deformation for aesthetic purposes, using a hinged piece of wood to apply pressure over a period of time to the foreheads of male infants. It is theorized that the name Choctaw, pronounced Choctaw, is derived from the Spanish chateau for flat, although it may come from the native name for the Pearl River, which is the Pearl River. It's not Spanish, it's native. But yeah, this encyclopedia is giving us knowledge that it can give. It's not gonna give every bit of knowledge of the tribe. It wouldn't fit in this book, but it's giving us a breakdown. So I'm just giving y'all a breakdown of all the tribes, including mine. Okay, where was I? Hacha, which is Pearl River. The Choctaw, like many Eastern Indian peoples, played lacrosse, sometimes called Indian stickball. It's a picture of the stickball. Purpose of the game was to toss a leather ball between posts with sticks having the curved and webbed ends. Touching the ball with the hands and using the sticks to fight were forbidden, but just about everything else was fair play. Tripping, bumping, stomping, and piling on top of the other players. There were many injuries, even deaths, during lacrosse games, a kind of mock war. Sometimes great matches were held between villages with hundreds of participants. There would be pre-game, pre-game ceremonies with dancing and singing during the days preceding the big event. Villagers would place bets on their teams, gambling many of their possessions. Medicine men would act as coaches. but they would use incantations rather than strategy to get their team to score the 100 points that they needed to win. After the men played their marathon games, the women played their own rough version. The Choctaw also held song competitions. Individuals from different villages would write songs for festivals, keeping their new melodies and words secret until performance time. Someone from another village or tribe who spied on a musical practice was called a song thief. The following is a hunting song sung by a hunter to his wife. Go and grind some corn. We will go camping. Go and sow. We will go camping. I passed on and you were sitting there crying. You were lazy and your hoe is rusty. I don't believe that translation is as accurate as it could be, but it's interesting to read. The following is a verse from a song written by a Choctaw girl whose father and brothers were killed in a raid. All men must surely die, though no one knows how soon. Yet when the time shall come, the event may be joyful. After a death, the Choctaw placed the deceased on a scaffold. There was a cry time for family members during which they went into retreat, fasted, covered their heads, and mourned. When the corpse had dried out in the open air, tribesmen officially appointed as bone pickers scraped the flesh away with their extra long fingernails from the bones. Then the bones would be buried. Contact with non Indians. The Spanish were the first Europeans to come into contact with the Choctaw. Warriors harassed Hernando de Soto's force near the Mississippi River in 1540. Although the conquistadors possessed firearms, the Indians proved a stubborn menace. The Choctaw later became important allies of the French, who established themselves along the lower Mississippi Valley after Rene Robert Cavalier de Salé expedition of 1682. Choctaw warriors helped crush the Natchez revolt in 1729. The fact that the Choctaw generally sided with the French and the Chickasaw with the British created a balance of power in the region during the French and Indian Wars from 1689 to 1763. After 1763, the British controlled the part of the southeast that included the Choctaw homeland. At the end of the American Revolution in 1783, when the British were defeated, the Spanish gained control of the Gulf of Mexico region as payment for helping the Americans rebel. In 1819, the United States gained Spanish holdings in the Southeast after General Andrew Jackson invaded Florida. The Choctaw generally sided with the Americans against the British. Choctaw warriors fought under American generals in the American Revolution, the War of 1812, and the Creek War of 1813 and 14. Moreover, a Choctaw named Pushmataha as Pushmataha, yeah, Pushmataha is was instrumental in keeping many Southeast bands from joining a rebellion in 19 in 1809 through 11, led by Tecumseh of the Shawnee relocation. In spite of their contributions to the United States, causes and their acceptance of the Euro American way of life, the Choctaw were mistreated. Non Indian settlers wanted their land. And both state governments and the federal government sided with whites over Indians. In the Creek War, the Choctaw fought under the man who later became President of the United States, Andrew Jackson. Even so, Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act of 1830, calling for the relocation of all eastern tribes to territory west of the Mississippi River. This was the start of the Trail of Tears, a phrase originally used to describe the Cherokee removal, but which has come to stand for the forced march of all relocated Southeast tribes. The Choctaw were the first tribe forced from their homeland. Under the removal policy in 1830, a few among them who did not represent the majority were bribed into signing the Treaty of the Dancing Rabbit Creek, which ceded all Choctaw lands in the state of Mississippi. Some Choctaw refused to depart and hid out in the backwoods of Mississippi and Louisiana. But the vast, and let me just note that those people just mentioned came out of hiding eventually and reestablished the tribe. So we do have a band still in Pearl River, Mississippi, Choctaw. Um, the vast majority were herded westward by the United States Army Bluecoats. Conditions on the many forced marches 1831 to 1834 were horrific. There were shortages of food, blankets, horses, and wagons. The soldiers turned their backs when bandits ambushed the migrants. Disease also struck down and exhausted travelers. About a quarter of the Choctaw died on the trip, and many more perished after their arrival into the Indian territory from disease, starvation, and attacks from hostile Western Indians. The Choctaw persisted, recognizing as a tribe and making the most of their new home because they adopted a Republican style of government modeled after that of the United States, as well as Euro American customs. The Choctaw came to be referred to as one of the five civilized tribes, along with the Chickasaw, Creek, Cherokee, and Seminole. Pressures caused by non Indian expansion did not cease, however. The General Allotment Act of 1887, designed to force the breakup of tribal land holdings for increased development, caused the eventual loss of much acreage. What was supposed to exist permanently for Native peoples as the Indian Territory became the state of Oklahoma, where I am currently living, in 1907. Oklahoma is a Muskogean word coined by the Choctaw to mean red people and first applied to the western half of the Indian Territory in 1890. Contemporary Choctaw. During the World Wars I and II, the U.S. government used members of the Choctaw Nation to secure communication. The native language was used as a code, so We're code speakers. If you're Choctaw, that's why you may wonder why you're able to decipher things. Like, I've been able to open safes, guess numbers since I was a little kid, just random, because codes are in our DNA. We're code speakers. We can speak code. It's something we like to do. We can create codes too, naturally. It's in our blood. Let me see. The native language was used to code to help the military safely move men and supplies. They became the first code talkers. In 2004, the Choctaw Code Talkers and those of other tribes finally received recognition and medals for their service. The Western Choctaw presently hold trust lands near Durant, Oklahoma. In the 1950s, they reestablished their traditional government. Descendants of those who stayed in the East have a reservation near Pearl River, Mississippi, the Western Choctaw sponsor of the Choctaw Nation Labor Day Festival, as well as the annual commemorative Trail of Tears Walk. The Eastern Choctaw hold an annual Choctaw Indian Fair. Games of stickball are part of both events. I hope you enjoyed my content. Um, Make sure you like, share, comment if you want to hear more about this topic. And if you want me to look up your tribe or a tribe that you are familiar with or want to know more about, this book is full of them. And I can even post pictures if you want. So just let me know. I need feedback. This isn't a channel. So I do need you to let me know what you like, don't like. And I'll be doing multiple things. I could be doing my hair. If I have another live, let me see. This tribe. I'll do Cherokee next week. I'll have another Sunday, Soulful Sunday next week. And stay tuned for more content. Oh, I have some wisdom to share and some knowledge to share. So look forward to those. I think those will be shorts or little videos. All right. Have a great day. Happy Sunday. Have a great week. Being kind to others. Yeah. And in order to know where you're going, it's important to know where you came from. That way, you have a blueprint. So, if you have any questions for me, you know where to find me.